This is a phenomena that I have never heard spoken about by anyone else, but is absolutely real in trauma bond recovery. The 3 to 4 month no contact dopamine slump. At 3 to 4 months, many people end up breaking no contact and going back to their abuser because those dopamine circuits are still going. It may feel like 4 months is a long time, but in trauma bond recovery, it's not. And your brain is still trying to recalibrate after the addicting process of the cycle of abuse and repair and intermittent reinforcement. At 3 to 4 months, a lot of the initial shock and horror of the bad behavior of the narcissist has eased off. And the addiction brain starts to suppress the memories of the abuse and hyper-focus on the good times. And this is where people can start to think like, oh, I could have a conversation, like they're feeling stronger, they're feeling more themselves. They're less focused on the horrors of the abuse in the relationship, and yet their addiction brain is still looking for the repair and the dopamine from going back to that person or having contact with that person. And this is a point where a lot of people break no contact, have an interaction with their narcissist, and end up getting sucked the fuck back into the relationship. This is where it's so important to understand that recovering from a trauma bond is a long-term thing. It takes many months to break a trauma bond. And the reality is a trauma bond doesn't break, it eases off over time. And it's so important to be continuing to do the work to break the cognitive dissonance, to see this person for what they really are, and reminding your brain of all of the abuse and the reality of who the fuck they actually are, so that you don't break no contact at that 3 to 4 month mark. Because you think that it's been long enough that you shouldn't be continuing to do the work or that you don't need to do the work anymore. And the reality is when you're breaking a trauma bond, you need to continue journaling, learning, grounding yourself in reality. Because by 3 to 4 months, a lot of people have stopped doing that work. And then they start going back into their addiction brain. They're suppressing the memories of the bad things. They're starting to miss that person. They're looking for the dopamine hit that they haven't been getting. And then they break no contact and they're back in the cycle. And if you're new here, I'm a narcissistic abuse educator and a narcissistic relationship recovery coach. Make sure you hit follow and you can book a session with me through the link in my bio.